And I'm Guy.
And today we're going to be talking about It Ends With Us, the new Blake Lively movie that's just come out yesterday.
Before we get into it, please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Thank you. So, as a girl, I think I am the target audience for this movie. And I mean, I do love Blake Lively, as any girl that grew up when Gossip Girl, the real original one, was going on. I have a soft spot for her, both of admiration and of I like her. But in all of her movies, she is Serena van der Woodsen. So I'm guessing from the trailers that we've seen, that's what this one's going to be. But it is based on a book, and it touches on subjects that, I mean, might affect a lot of women, which is domestic abuse. But again, this will have spoilers, even though we haven't watched it. I mean, we know the ending because it's a book, so it's been out for a while.
Well, I will say I probably would normally have zero interest in this movie, but the way they promoted the movie was actually pretty interesting. And it's like this Barbie Oppenheimer type of thing with Ryan Reynolds and his wife, Deadpool, having just come out.
Yeah, so the Barbenheimer from last summer.
Yeah, when I did see the preview for this movie, it was actually before the Deadpool movie, and I had political vibes from it a little bit, which most people wouldn't. But I thought it was a little woke because I thought the storyline, it was promoting cheating on your husband and things like that. But then again, I wasn't paying too much attention to the trailer because it's not my kind of movie.
Yeah, and I don't think they're even trying to make it your kind of movie. But, I mean, Blake Lively produced it, so it is produced by a woman. And there have been some controversies coming out about it. About the messaging, I mean, I think, yes, it might have like a twist of female empowerment. And, like, of course, it's always good to leave a domestic partner that's abusive towards you, and I think that is an important message. But at the same time, from listening to and reading blurbs and reviews about the book itself by Colleen Hoover, I think that the messaging, at least at the beginning, it starts with, as a normal relationship would, her falling deeply in love with this man that is a really terrible guy. But it seems that she ends up portraying him, even though it is based upon the story of her mom and her dad, so it's a personal story. She ends up portraying the bad guy as like very attractive and never seems to fully stem away from that towards the end, which she probably should have because he's an abuser. And it follows these tropes of all of these books that are essentially made for women by women, which are just Twilight remakes.
Well, a lot of ways that Hollywood tends to get away from tropes is saying it's based on a true story. If it's based on a true story, this is a true to life trope, they try to say. But a lot of the movie, people are saying it has twists and turns that are a little bit unbelievable. But the character arc for the movie, when I did the research, the characters actually have a lot of development, it seems like, compared to what I've seen in the trailer. Meaning isn't a movie necessarily about cheating on your husband. It's more about domestic abuse when I researched the movie. And I wish the trailer would have made that point a little bit better. It did a little bit, but when I researched the movie, the character arc for the woman seemed to be really involved in domestic violence and the tragedy of that.
Yeah, and I mean, it does look like they front load the love story first, both in the book and the movie, and then the domestic abuse part comes at the end. Not so much intertwined, so it seems like it might be a bit jarring, especially for audiences that, I mean, have no idea what they're walking into. But this book did blow up on TikTok and in a bunch of other places when it first came out. It's a New York Times bestseller. A lot of women are reading it. I'm sure it's lining a bunch of airport stores to read before you get on a plane. It's that kind of book, and I'm guessing it's that kind of movie. There doesn't seem to be too much substance to it other than she left an abusive husband and then she found the love of her life.
Well, for people that are coming to the movie like me that maybe aren't as interested in the movie but more interested in the Ryan Reynolds part of the movie, he did write a scene, a very short dialogue scene when they're on the rooftop in the movie, which is pretty interesting because there was a bit of a controversy with Blake Lively being the producer and having her own edited version.
Yeah, it seems like there were two different endings for the movie. And again, with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and I think they're doing this whole power Hollywood couple thing very well. Hopefully it sticks and they don't end up like a lot of them. but they always mention how they help each other out in their projects. I mean, Blake Lively was in the Deadpool movie, as were their two kids.
And I didn't even know that until you said that.
With baby Deadpool and kid Deadpool being two of their kids. And then she was Lady Deadpool with the ponytail, which is essentially, again, Serena van der Woodsen, just in a Deadpool costume. And I do respect Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' relationship because they seem genuine with, I mean, supporting each other. One of them goes to work and the other one stays with the kids. They never have filming schedules that are conflicting. And she said some really great and heartwarming and I think valuable things for society about Ryan Reynolds as a husband and as a father and how he takes that first before anything else. And that's a message that has been lost on a lot of people. A lot of people got angry at her because of how much she was praising her husband when he was receiving an award. This happened, I think, last year.
Keeping him him. And now I am his home. And our girls are his home. And just like that 19-year-old boy, he races home. Whether it's from across the globe or a meeting across the street, he is hardwired to get home. If he came home from set not in his wardrobe, we would be very concerned. Soaked in mud, fake blood, real blood, prosthetic scars, superhero suits, tap shoes, or clown makeup, Daddy always comes home. And that man races back to his real life like nothing I have ever seen, especially not by someone who's able to be so all in his work life.
But that is one of the things that made me admire her even more, other than my teenage self.
Well, I would say that Ryan Reynolds has learned the lesson of get it written in your contract. So he has a lot of power in his contract and he has it written in. That's how he was able to bring Wesley Snipes into Deadpool, even though Wesley Snipes had previously sued the production company. So that's the fact that he is getting it written into his contract, I think is rubbing off on Blake Lively because she's having a lot of things written into her contract. At least that's what I noticed on the research for this movie, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and I mean, they have to be smart. And I think Ryan Reynolds learned from getting Deadpool made. I mean, he fought for 10 years trying to get this movie made. Nobody wanted to make it. And it all stemmed from the fact that they cast him as Deadpool, which is supposed to be this character that speaks and does a lot of fourth wall breaking and says a lot of jokes. And what they did to him in X-Men Wolverine, all that 12 years ago now or more, is that they silenced him and they essentially took the mouth off of Deadpool. And then that incensed him to such a level because he always wanted to play that character that he fought for 10 years trying to get this movie made. That is why it was made in Vancouver. He is from Vancouver. And he did have to pull a lot of strings and get denied a bunch of times before it got made. So I think he learned from that, and now he's, of course, telling his wife to do the same.
Well, we do talk a lot of politics on this channel, even though this is a movie review today.
Well, not review, we haven't seen it.
Well, when you have actors write things into their contracts, so they have a little bit more power through being a producer or whatever means they write into the contract. This allows them to hold woke Hollywood at bay. And Ryan Reynolds did that with Deadpool. I'm not sure if Blake Lively did that so much with this movie, but I like to see actors that have more power and hold the studios at bay. So
yeah, because I think a lot of actors are just human beings and they might pretend to go along with the ideology and the main thing that Hollywood wants to push or that the producers believe, but I don't think a lot of them fully do, but they almost can never speak about it. So if we can start seeing more movies being, self-produced or produced by actors themselves, we might be getting different versions and different storylines and different ideologies essentially put into movies.
I will say that we'll put a link down below for the promotional material for this movie because it was an absolutely ingenious thing. The whole Barbie Oppenheimer dynamic with Ryan Reynolds and his wife doing movies, because Ryan Reynolds wrote one scene, they were able to bring him into the promotional material where they had an interview where Ryan Reynolds interviewed the maiden love interest of Blake Lively in the movie, and then they brought her mom in, and then they brought Hugh Jackman in, saying, "You're dating my best friend's wife."
Thank you, Brandon. I love the movie.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Oh, God.
This is cool. It's not every day the husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy. Well, it's not every day the mother-in-law of the leading lady gets to interview the love interest.
No.
It's not every day a guy gets to interview the love interest of his best friend's wife.
I was expecting not to like him.
Oh, yeah.
But he is so nice.
The nicest guy.
I think we found the next Wolverine.
Yeah, so they interviewed Brandon Sklena. I don't know what the last
But
name
it
is.
was
fully.
it was a hilarious interview.
Yeah.
And it actually caught my attention for a movie that normally wouldn't catch my attention.
Yeah, it's the promotion for both of them are well done because they are bringing each other in, and it's heartwarming and nice and cute. And Blake Lively also did a whole like Vogue photo shoot with Hugh Jackman, where they're both playing different characters in this photo shoot. I don't know if I can put some images up because copyright, but they also like Blake Lively with Gigi Hadid, which is one of her friends, ended up showing up to the premiere of Deadpool in like yellow and red, and they were calling them ketchup and mustard. And Blake Lively has been doing a lot with her fashion and like doing a lot of references to Deadpool and Wolverine. And then, I mean, Ryan Reynolds is showing up in interviews. So it is nice to see like a healthy relationship being, I mean, talked about openly in the media without it being like, oh, he cheated on her and this happened and all of this celebrity gossip. It's nice to see at the forefront that they're putting, you know, family and a relationship first. Now, that might just be for the cameras. We don't know their lives, but I think that is a good messaging, if maybe the messaging of the movie might not be, you know, 100% on point. But for now, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. We are trying to grow the channel. Thank you for watching till the end.
And adios.
Thank you.